This week, we have 2 planets shifting into new signs. Venus, planet of relationships and resources, moving into practical Taurus, and Mercury, ruler of perceptions and communications, moving into sensitive Cancer. All of this, an empowered moment and more in my new intuitive energy forecast for the week of Monday, June 2nd through Sunday, June 8th, 2025. Stay tuned. Hello everyone, this is Colleen Lemma, starseed astrologer and spiritual messenger here with your weekly intuitive energy forecast. For this week's reading, we're going to be using the Psychic Tarot by John Holland. That will be the main message for everyone. Your special message card this week, depending on your stone of choice, is going to be coming from the Goddesses, Gods, and Guardians deck by Sophia Bashford. All right, so let's go ahead before we look at those stones of choice, before we talk about the astrology for the week. Let's settle in and do an empowered moment. Close your eyes and take a deep breath. And as you exhale, you're releasing all that your body, mind, and soul no longer needs in this moment. Visualizing that beautiful, unconditionally loving golden white light all around you, providing you with peace and love and compassion and healing. And as you see or sense, feel, or just know that you're surrounded in that golden white light, that protective, guiding golden white light, I want you to take in a deep breath and breathe it into every cell of your body. As you exhale, relax your body even more. And let's focus on 2 chakras right now, the heart chakra and the third eye chakra. First, the heart chakra, and envisioning or imagining a ball of emerald green light at the heart chakra spinning and turning, balancing, healing, opening this chakra, the chakra of unconditional love and compassion and forgiveness for self as well as others. And shifting your focus and attention to the third eye chakra, which is between your eyebrows on your forehead. A beautiful ball of indigo blue light spinning and turning, healing and balancing this chakra that focuses on imagination, clairvoyance, vision, and also has a connection to the mind. And imagining these 2 chakras working together. The compassion of the heart, the love from the heart chakra, balanced and working with the logic of the mind, the intuition of the higher self. See a gold thread of energy that's moving through the heart chakra, coming through the front of the heart chakra first, out the back of the heart chakra, and through the back of the third eye, coming out the front of the third eye. And that golden thread is moving round and round, connecting that heart chakra and that third eye chakra. That gold thread spinning and turning in a circular motion, combining the balanced, healing energies of both of those chakras. Take a deep breath and breathe in the essence of that healing, balanced energy. As you exhale, when you feel ready and in your own time, you can open your eyes and return to this time and place and space. So let's get ready to look at our stones of choice for this week. All right, our first stone of choice is nephrite jade. This is a beautiful light green stone, nephrite jade. And this is a great stone for emotional balance, serenity, prosperity. It does connect with the heart chakra because of that green energy, which is going to relate to love, compassion, harmony, and forgiveness. And your second stone of choice is this beautiful multicolored blue agate. There's two kind of shades of blue going on there. We've got a light blue, we've got a dark blue. If we turn it here on its side, it almost has this seeing eye at the bottom here. And the blue agate is a stone of truth, loyalty, and reliability, as well as communication. Of course, it relates to the throat chakra for speaking, teaching, writing, and expressing. And your last stone of choice, this is green and purple fluorite. It's kind of hard to see the purple, but the purple, there's a little bit of very light purple at the top of this fluorite stone, and the rest of it is a green color. I don't know if you can see it. See the purple over here and turn it around, the purple's there. So with the green and purple fluorite, this is a stone of clarity, focus, and organization with the green part of the fluorite, and of calming the mind, enhancing psychic abilities, and connecting with higher consciousness for the purple part of the fluorite. And of course, it's going to relate to both the heart chakra and the crown chakra. So again, your stones of choice are the nephrite jade, the blue agate, or the green and purple fluorite. All right, so let's talk about the astrology for this week. And by the way, this is the first full week of the month of June. So if you haven't already, please go on to my YouTube channel under my name, Colleen Lemma, and watch that monthly intuitive forecast for June. It gives you the whole overview of the month, also including the numerology of the month, as well as the astrological transits of significance, a message from our angels and guides through cards, and a special message card based on your stone of choice for that as well. But for this week, we're going to start out on Wednesday the 4th. On Wednesday the 4th, we have Venus, planet of love, relationships, money, and finances. She's still in Aries at this point. And Aries is that first sign of the zodiac about leadership, independence, initiation. And she's in a positive sextile connection to Jupiter, planet of abundance, prosperity, opportunities, and blessings, who is still at this point in Gemini, multitasking Gemini that rules the mental realm. So there's an opportunity here. With sextiles, there's always an opportunity, but we have to look for the opportunity, take action on the opportunity in order to produce the beneficial results from the opportunity. So with Venus in Aries and Jupiter in Gemini, there could be an opportunity with some form of communication with a new person, maybe a new love interest. There could be possibilities and many, maybe more than one possibility, as far as valuing ourselves, taking a leadership kind of stance, beginning something new that might involve resources like money and finances, or again, beginning something new in a relationship or partnership. There's a key here with that Gemini energy of, again, speaking, teaching, writing, networking, especially, reaching out, making sure you're communicating with other people. On Thursday, the 5th of June, we have another sextile, but this one is between Mercury, that rules the mental realm, still in his home sign of Gemini right now. So he's really strong and happy there in Gemini. And he is in a positive sextile to Mars, the planet of energy, action, and forward movement, who's in Leo, which is a sign of creative self-expression and leadership and taking charge. So here there's an opportunity again with communication. Mercury is in Gemini, so pay attention to your thoughts, pay attention to your ideas, maybe the thoughts and ideas of people around you. There could be still a networking opportunity here. And with Mars, it's helping us to activate something, like let's activate this new idea. Let's activate a communication through text or email or telephone call, or this could be activating some writing project. This could be activating some sort of leadership project where you're going to be speaking to a bunch of people, or maybe just a few people. But anyway, there's, again, this wonderful beneficial opportunity. And then also on Thursday the 5th, Venus at that point is moving out of Aries and moving into Taurus. So she's going to be in Taurus from the 5th of June until the 4th of July. So about a month. And again, Venus, what does she rule? She rules love and relationships. She rules attraction, receptivity. She rules personal resources like money and finances and time and our talents and gifts. She rules values, our values, what we value, who we value, and how we value ourselves. So she rules our sense of self-worth. She's moving into one of her home signs. Taurus is one of the signs of the zodiac that she rules. So she's very much at home here. Now, with her moving into Taurus, there might be a little bit more of an emphasis on the resources, because Taurus is a sign of the zodiac that rules material resources, practical resources, tangible resources. And again, it's not just money and finances, but what else is tangible? It's, our talents, our gifts, our time. There could be something tangible within the realm of, what do I want to say here? Again, working on projects or manifestation. This is actually a good placement for manifestation, because Taurus is a manifesting sign and Venus attracts things. She's an attractor, right? And so this is a good time, a good month to, put forth those visualization capabilities of yours, taking practical steps and manifesting what your goals are, or at least the next step towards your goals. Now on Friday, the 6th of July, we have yet another sextile. So we have Mercury still in Gemini, his home sign, and he's going to be in a positive sextile to Chiron in Aries. Now, Chiron is the wounded healer and shaman and teacher. He oftentimes brings up our old wounds, and a lot of times they're from previous lifetimes and incarnations. And in Aries, this would be wounds regarding our self-identity, our individuality, our leadership ability or potential, or the confidence and courage that we have in our own leadership abilities and potential. So again, this is an opportunity. It's a positive connection. So there's an opportunity here to, again, share some sort of information or receive messages, because Mercury's in Gemini. Listen to the conversations that are coming to you or that are around you. Send out, again, those emails, those texts, or make those phone calls. Gemini is very busy in the communication sector. And this is going to raise your confidence. This is going to assist you with having more courage. This is going to assist you in your sense of independence and individuality, and maybe heal some of those wounds regarding those aspects of yourself. And then on Sunday, the 8th of June, we have Mercury in Gemini. So Mercury has been kind of highlighted here this week. Mercury in Gemini is connecting with Jupiter in Gemini. Now, again, a lot of busy, multitasking, multifaceted sort of energies. That's what Gemini is. It's the sign of the twins. It's the sign of duality. It's the sign of more than one thing going on in the mental realm. So lots of thoughts, lots of ideas, lots of perceptions and perspectives, a lot of different forms of communication or information coming to us, or messages coming to us or from us. And again, Jupiter kind of rules our belief systems, and you might say this expanded perception. Mercury is more like the detail, the present moment detail perceptions and perspectives, and Jupiter is this expanded vision. And so again, this is very good for networking, reaching out across state lines and country lines, like reaching out to others, right? Get on Zoom and go to different kinds of groups or classes or workshops. In fact, Gemini is a sign about learning. It can be about teaching too, but it loves to learn. It loves to gather information. It likes to teach and share information. So any opportunity you have to do any of those things on Sunday or leading up to Sunday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday is going to be beneficial. And then after Mercury in Gemini connects with Jupiter in Gemini on Sunday, Mercury then very quickly moves into the next sign of the zodiac, Cancer, where he's going to be until June 26th. So not even a full month. He's going to zip right through before the end of June, and then he's going to go into another sign. So Mercury again rules the mental realm. Cancer rules more the emotional realm. It rules love and nurturing and compassion and caring and caretaking and home and family and emotional connections, those people we feel close to. So there might be, a little bit of an adjustment at that point with Mercury moving into Cancer. Now the communications become more empathetic. We're using our empathy. It's becoming more intuitive, but yet Mercury wants to be logical, but Cancer is more of this clairsentient and intuitive sign of the zodiac. So we're kind of merging left and right brain a little bit here. We might be having more communications with our family or those that we consider part of our family. There might be more attention paid to home as far as rearranging the home, additions to the home, cleaning up the home, just loving on the home, basically. All right, so that's a little bit about the astrology. Let's go ahead and take a look at the messages from our angels and guides for the week. So the first card came out as 2 cards. And the first of those 2 cards is Major Arcana 7. And in this deck, it's called Triumph. Now, this is, in the traditional tarot, the Chariot card. And it seems like, I believe, the monthly reading for June had the Chariot card as well. And the Chariot card is ruled by the sign of Cancer, which is, where Mercury is moving into at the end of the week. And later in the month of June, actually, the sun will move into Cancer as well. But we're seeing this a little bit early, where we're moving forward. Now, typically the Chariot has a person that's within the chariot and having 2 horses or more pulling that chariot. And oftentimes those horses, or sometimes they're Sphinx, or sometimes they're oxen, or some other kind of animal, they're usually slightly moving and trying to move in different directions. But in this deck, we've got 1 horse, 1 rider on 1 horse. We don't even have a chariot that he's sitting in. He's just sitting on the horse and he's galloping forward. You can kind of feel like he's galloping because the wind is blowing his hair and the wind is kind of blowing the flag as he's galloping forward. So this is nice because instead of 2 horses kind of moving in opposite kind of directions, which means you're not going to get very far very fast, we've got 1 rider on 1 horse moving quickly. So we're moving very quickly, and that kind of makes sense with all this Gemini energy that we got going on for most of this week, because Gemini is a very quick sign of the zodiac, but it's usually more quick about the mind. And with the Chariot, again, we're thinking about moving forward towards physical goals, but maybe we're moving forward fast on a mental level. Maybe there's lots of ideas streaming in, a lot of information coming our way, a lot of communications happening. We're moving forward in that mental realm. Although again, this is ruled by Cancer, which is also the emotional realm. But the word on the bottom says triumph. It just feels like, we're having some sort of success. We're reaching some sort of goal. We're triumphant in something that we're pursuing in our lives. So that's a very good sign, isn't it? The flag itself is red, which relates to the root chakra. The root chakra is our sense of stability and security, and it does include financial security. So maybe this has something to do with moving forward on goals that involve money and finances. We do have a little bit of orange here, which is sacral chakra and creative self-expression. We've got a little yellow up here, which is solar plexus chakra, our sense of confidence and courage and willpower. So we're utilizing this all together and we're just really moving forward. But let's see what card came out with the Triumph card. Okay, so with the Triumph card, we have the Six of Spiritual. The purple bordered cards in this particular tarot deck is the suit of Spiritual, which is like the suit of Wands in the traditional tarot. So this is like the Six of Wands. And look what it says at the bottom. It says victory and success, and it came out with the Triumph card. I think this is all the sextiles, right? All those opportunities that we have. But remember, you have to take action when the opportunity presents itself, or the opportunity could then pass you by. But if you take advantage of the opportunity, you recognize it, you're aware of it, you take some sort of action on whatever opportunities are coming up throughout most of this week, then we're going to attain something. We're going to be triumphant, we're going to be successful, we're going to be victorious. This person is like blowing a horn, and look at that. That flag too has some red in it. So again, this could be about finances or money or anything that's tangible, right? This could be working on a project. Like I'm working on my new website right now, which actually maybe by the time you're watching this should be active. So you might want to check that out. But there's also a little bit of gold in there. So again, we got that solar plexus chakra of confidence, courage, willpower. And it looks like he's got, he's trying to get attention. Like when you blow a horn, he's standing at the top of this cliff and blowing the horn. So the sound is going to reverberate out. You can almost see like the rays of the sun, but it almost feels like that's the reverberation. That's the expansion of the sound. So there's some sort of message. Maybe it's a call to your soul. Maybe your higher soul self is calling you to pay attention to something. The universe maybe is trying to give you a message to pay attention to. There's some sort of, information or message that you're being called to pay attention to, it feels like, with this card. But it's a very, very positive card. So that's awesome. Let's take a look at the next card. All right, the next card is the Six of Physical. The red bordered cards are called the suit of Physical in this deck. It's like pentacles in the traditional tarot, or coins or discs. And so the Six of Pentacles, the Six of Physical, that is about material abundance and prosperity. It says material and spiritual prosperity. And look at this person standing kind of on this balcony, looking out over the horizon. The water fountains are this beautiful kind of feature going on with the land. The sun is rising over the horizon. The trees are all lined up in perfect symmetry. There's a path here that leads towards those trees. So it feels like everything is lining up. Now, this could be the manifestation of something too. Remember, Venus is moving into Taurus, which can be great for manifestation. This is a manifestation kind of card. We're moving down this path towards our goals. We're moving towards new horizons. We're moving towards new opportunities. We're moving towards these water fountains of abundance and prosperity. He's overlooking, actually, the fountains are coming out of this kind of water feature, right? Water magnifies our intentions. Water does rule the emotional realm. So if we feel with joy and happiness our intentions, close our eyes and visualize with joy and happiness our intentions, this water can magnify those intentions. And then we're following this path towards the new horizons and towards the stability and organized security that we're looking for. So this is really awesome as well, material and spiritual prosperity. Let's look at the last card. Let's hope it's a positive card, right? And speaking of hope, right? This is Major Arcana 17. That's so funny. Major Arcana 17 is the star card in the traditional tarot. In this deck, it is called Hope. And what's the star card about? It's about your dreams, your hopes, your visions for the future kind of coming true. It's about reaching for the stars, shooting for the moon, not playing down, not being in lack. This is about expanding into the cosmos, right? Usually you can see on the star card, usually there is the universe or the cosmos or the great outer space with stars in it. This particular card has a hand with a star in it, you could assume. And are we giving something to someone, or are we receiving something from someone or something, like the universe? Even within the star is an image. Is that the image of you? You're receiving like a higher version of yourself? Or is this an angel? You're receiving something that an angel or guide is presenting to you, a key, an opportunity, a blessing. This is a blessing, right? So this would be good to give and receive, because we don't really know, is this person giving something or receiving something, or possibly both. We've got this reverberation of like this green sort of energy at the bottom. Green is a heart chakra color, and Venus in Taurus reminds me of that green material, blessing, prosperity sort of energy, with Venus moving into Taurus. So we've got it all. I mean, there couldn't be hardly a better reading for this week. So remember though, take advantage of the opportunities. If you're just sitting at home and, not connecting with anybody, or not getting out and doing things to be able to meet the right person at the right time for the right opportunity, then this week could pass you by without producing much. Of course, there's still email and text messages and things like that, right? Or there's projects that you're working on that in the long run, because this is a future-oriented card. The star card is a lot of times about future potential. So you could be working on a project or something right now that is going to produce something. And it looks like if you are doing that, it's going to produce something really good in the long run. So keep on doing what you're doing. All right, great reading. Let's go ahead and see what message comes out from your angels and guides, depending on your stone of choice. So the first stone of choice was the nephrite jade. So we're going to give this a little shuffle. And special message for this week for the nephrite jade people. This one's calling my attention when I open my eyes. Oh, I'm not going to be able to say that. I'm going to try, but I won't be able to say it. Lazzo Teatro. I know I did not say that right. And I know somebody out there probably knows how to say it. But it says at the bottom to forgive. She looks very much like a Native American woman, right? She's got that Native American look with the hair and the skin complexion, the turquoise beads around her neck. It's even got some kind of Aztec. I bet she's an Aztec goddess. I bet that's what she is. She's probably an Aztec goddess, because there's a very Aztec looking kind of symbology behind her. And though she's talking about forgiveness, which is interesting, because we didn't talk about that at all with the astrology. So what I'm thinking is, maybe for a while you've been beating up on yourself, you've been hard on yourself, you've been saying woulda, shoulda, coulda, or you've been maybe saying I stayed in this situation too long, or I should have tried to do something different sooner, or whatever it might be. I shouldn't have said that to that person, So it feels like there's something that we need to have self-forgiveness for. And really, it's like this is almost like an illusion, because we've done, whatever we've done in life, whatever you have or haven't done, there's nothing to forgive. You're just having experiences. Your soul is making choices and having experiences in situations and circumstances, relationships, and within your own self. And really, it's just acceptance, right? Forgive and accept, right? Forgive yourself, and maybe this is about forgiving others too. So forgive yourself, forgive others, accept the situation as it was or as it is, accept the person as they are. It doesn't mean to not have good boundaries. It doesn't mean to let them, continue to do things that hurt you. It doesn't mean to stay in a situation that's stagnant or that's not helping you to grow and evolve. But accept where you're at and know that you can take, a different action now. You can make a different decision and take a different action in this moment, no matter how long or what's been happening. So forgive yourself. The turquoise beads, right? Throat chakra energy. It's around the throat. It's the color of the throat chakra. You might need to speak your truth. There might need to be some sort of communication. Or if you're forgiving yourself, maybe you need to write yourself a letter, right? This still comes from the throat chakra, even if we're writing. So speaking, teaching, writing, sharing information, sharing forgiveness. And if it's about someone who has already passed on into the next dimension, so to speak, you can still have a higher soul self conversation. Or if there's anything going on where there's patterns from home family, mom, dad, and they're passed over, connect with their higher soul self and have a higher soul self conversation with those people and ask for forgiveness or give forgiveness. More than likely, you're giving forgiveness. But remember, first and foremost, forgive yourself. All right, so I think that's enough about that card. All right, the blue agate people. Special message for this week for the blue agate people. Blue agate. This one's calling my attention. Oh, I hope I can say this one right. Gosh, I'm getting all the ones that I'm not sure. I mean, H-E-L, right? How do you say that? You're either going to say heal or hell. So this goddess is end of a cycle goddess. End of a cycle. And, you know, it's a very interesting look, isn't it? It's almost like there's a black crow or a black raven over here at the side of her head. It looks like there's kind of like this death and rebirth energy, right? Looks like this side with the black crow. It's like a death, regeneration. You know, you can even look at her eye. It's kind of weird looking. She's got symbols on her face. I don't know what those are all about. But there's like a transformation and a transition and a transmutation, it feels like, that's going on. The end of a cycle is happening for you. But what's on the other side is the rebirth. What's on the other side is fresh new beginnings. What's on the other side is growth and expansion. What's on the other side is beautiful, flowing, right? So also with the raven, I mean, birds are messengers. So pay attention to synchronicities or symbols or signs, animal totems, maybe even communications from other people, or something you might even get in a meditation from your guides or your higher self. There's some sort of information or messages that you're needing to pay attention to that involves this end of a cycle time period. But remember, with every ending is a new beginning. So release and let go what is no longer appropriate or no longer beneficial or no longer valid for you in your life, and get ready for this opportunity for a new beginning or a rebirth or a renewal that is taking place for you, right? You might be in the midst of the death and rebirth cycle, but know that there's good things that are coming, good things that are on the way. Okay. I'm trying to see if there's anything else that speaks to me here in this card. No, I think that's it. All right. So the last stone of choice was the green and purple fluorite. Green and purple fluorite people. Special message for the week for green and purple fluorite. This one on the bottom just wants to come out. Ooh, Isis. Isis and sacred contracts. She also has some beautiful embroidered kind of necklace with a cross on it around her neck. So also throat chakra related, speaking your truth, verbalizing your boundaries maybe. This is a strong goddess. It says sacred contracts at the bottom. So it feels like there's been a karmic contract between you and another person, or maybe between you and a situation. Or there's a contract coming in with a new person or new situation also that's coming in. Now, just because if it's something or someone from the past, and just because it's a sacred contract, doesn't mean that it's not time to move on and away from that. Sacred is just, in this context, meaning that if there is an old contract with a person, let's say a relationship, that they gave you some sort of gift. They taught you some sort of blessed lesson that you needed to learn. And that in and of itself is sacred because it allowed your soul to grow and evolve to the next step, the step that you're at now. So some of you out there that may apply. Again, there could be new contracts coming in, new people, new circumstances, new opportunities, new situations. And again, it feels like a very sacred, magical energy happening that's on its way. Now, she's got, this thing on the crown of her head, this headdress, I guess you could say. And this is going to be activating claircognizance. Crown chakra is the psychic ability of claircognizance. So we're activating our claircognizance to receive downloads, insights, revelations, information from higher sources, from universal sources. And perhaps the imagery around her neck is saying then she needs to channel that, then she needs to speak that, because claircognizance often goes with kind of channeling, and the channeling can be through writing as well, right? A lot of times people do automatic writing, or when we're writing a blog, or we're writing a book, or we're writing our social media posts, right? A lot of times we're channeling information. So open up the crown chakra, receive the information. It's heightened, it's magnified right now with kind of these, what looks like little horns, and it's being brought down and being spoken. And I think the cross around her neck is just saying that whatever is being channeled is something that's, again, very sacred, very special, very important, very, very aligned with the spiritual. And in fact, rather than just being a cross, that's actually an ankh, right? So the ankh is the special symbol in the Egyptian times. Okay, is there anything else here that we want to say? A lot of gold in her hair and gold kind of arm jewelry around her arms. So again, this idea of the solar plexus chakra, we even have like a little bit of goldy tan energy up there. So activate your confidence, your courage, your leadership abilities, your willpower with that solar plexus chakra energy. All right. Thank you so much for tuning in, everyone. A little bit of news here. And if you're still here listening to me, I have kind of a new website. I mean, there's a lot of it that is similar, but it's got a fresh look, and some of it is going to be new. And also, it's under ColleenLemma.com. Although if you do still type in sacredsoulempowerment.com, you will be redirected now to ColleenLemma.com. So those are some of the changes that are happening. I don't want to say too much more because this is a longer video anyway. So just check it out. Check out everything that's going on there, the store, the services. It's going to be a work in progress. There's going to be some things that need to be updated and changed and added. But as of this video being out there in public, it should be ready to go. So I'm excited to have you take a look at it and give me some comments about what you think about it. Sending you all lots of love and light and many, many blessings for all those opportunities that you're going to follow up on this week. Namaste, everyone.